Boom shakalaka, with Bitcoin hitting brand new all-time highs and signs of a full-blown bull market, an important caution, and where we could likely be headed. Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randy here from Crypto Love. Today's video, a lot of very interesting charts for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including a very important caution and where price could be headed in the near future with clear skies above. Before we get into it, guys, like the video, helps out so much. Come and join us on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove, and of course, subscribe if you haven't. Now today, fear and greed 82, up from yesterday's 79, still an extreme greed for the past week. The overall market up a few percent. Bitcoin at 71,688. Yes, you heard me. That's a brand new all-time high for Bitcoin. Ethereum breaking 4,000 at $4,011.53. BNB at 528, Solana 148, XRP 62 cents, Cardano 73 cents, Dogecoin 17 cents, and Shiba 4 zeros and a 3. Now, Bitcoin today breaking the previous all-time high right here, this line right here. Now, if we line up the previous time when Bitcoin broke through $20,000, this bar pattern right here is exactly what Bitcoin did in the few months after that. That would put Bitcoin at breaking $200,000. by July of this year. So in the next few months, they could be rocket territory as we enter price discovery zone. There is literally no resistance above. Right now, this structure has the signs of a full-blown Bitcoin bull market. The price is ripping, lots of coins moving on-chain, meaning real investors are buying at higher prices, validating it. So likely the price is going to continue going up. But just a note of caution here. It's great to be optimistic, but it's always good to somewhat be cautious. The only bit of caution to note is the SOPR, a measure of profit taking in the network, is near peak levels. You can see this down here. Generally, this happened at the very top back there, but it also happened a whole bunch of times here on the way up in 2017. Now, once it rolls over, we can expect a period of consolidation. It hasn't quite peaked, but consolidation is due soon. Will it happen now? Will it happen after you buy in? I don't exactly know, but something to keep an eye on. Now, where we are in this cycle, definitely not near the top. I know the bears are calling for the top right now, and they're saying profit taking now. And, you know, you have to do you. But if we take a look historically where the cycle is in terms of long-term and short-term holders, we can see that historically we would only be about partway up the cycle, or at the very beginning of partway up the cycle, based on the difference of these two lines. So either way, it does appear like we have a lot of room left to go before things max out. And taking a look here as well, breaking previous all-time highs, very important because price discovery is above where we are, which who knows, depending upon where we are in the cycle, which cycle we are in, could be a little bit, but it could be a very lot. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of evidence that maybe this cycle is a little bit different. We might actually be headed from somewhat of a log curve to a sigmoid growth curve as Bitcoin scarcity starts to really kick in, with some of the institutions picking up a lot of Bitcoin like they've been doing previously and now getting mainstream adoption. And maybe where price heads up a lot higher than anyone is expecting. McAfee might be right. We might be seeing $1 million Bitcoin in the near future. Now, one piece of evidence that we could have a rather dramatic cycle different from previous cycles is something like this, the most explosive bull run, either way. But we can see here a crossing of the 100 and 200 weekly moving averages. First time it has happened in history. Now, it's narrowed 2 times previously in history, and the closer the narrowing, the bigger the bull run. This one was only about a 7x. This one was like 100x. Well, we not only narrowed, we also crossed here, which could mean absolutely massive things in the future for Bitcoin. How soon? Well, based on the previous all-time highs, it has shown us that historically, Bitcoin's taken about 8 to 11 months to hit a market top from breaking previous all-time highs. Based on that, we would be seeing a market top somewhere between November and February. So November of 2022 and February 2025. This would align perfectly with like the Christmas pump. So we could definitely be seeing that in the near future coming up this year. And we could even be seeing Bitcoin going as high, maybe like a 10x or more this year. Why? Well, if we take a look, back in 2010, Bitcoin was 0.7 cents. It popped 10x in 5 days and another 1000x in 2 years following. Why? Bitcoin was introduced to the global liquidity with the advent of Mt. Gox. Well, guess what? Bitcoin just got listed on the world stock markets, which holds $100 trillion of capital, and they're piling in, buying roughly at least 7,000 net positive Bitcoin per day, which is a lot. That is basically 2 million Bitcoin a year, which is well more Bitcoin than is available. So if that continues, that will certainly push the price up a lot higher. How high? Well, like I said, there's clear skies above where we are. Bitcoin is well on the way to $100,000. Will it happen this week or next week? The timing remains uncertain, but the momentum is building and the anticipation is certainly palpable. As a matter of fact, if you guys remember from a few weeks back, we were talking about this nice inverse head and shoulders pattern that broke at $48,000 that predicted $150,000 Bitcoin. So already that is getting very close to true as price is pumping even higher, getting closer to that magnetic $150,000. And it turns out that Bitcoin at 71,000 puts us right here on the visual upper and lower bound models. The upper bound right now, $337,000. So this bull market is still early, equivalent to 20,000 of the last cycle. You can see that right there. Now, last cycle didn't hit the upper bound due to the flood of paper Bitcoin, but that is less dominant this cycle because we have the institutions buying spot Bitcoin ETF. So that being said, lower bound, I don't know, what's it at, like $40,000 now? Upper bound, $337,000. You got to make the bet on your own, but things are looking pretty good for Bitcoin at the moment. Anyways, that's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, push the like button. Catch you guys later. Subscribe if you haven't. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.